Dogs will be allowed into designated eateries as soon as the middle of this year, with conditions. Hong Kong retail sales rose by 6.6% in December, falling short of expectation.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And then finally I just made it to shore.
This teenage boy has a superhuman swim for 4 kilometers in 4 hours to save his family. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yan. Dog owners in the city may soon enjoy far more dining options with their pets, as the government plans to approve an initial quota of 500 to 1,000 pet-friendly restaurants by mid-2026. Cheryl Yun tells us more.
Bringing along your furry friends to dinner may no longer be a distant dream. The government has proposed amendments to the food business regulation that would allow restaurant operators to apply for a special license permitting dogs inside their premises, provided strict conditions are met. Under the rules, dogs must never share tables or utensils with people. In any venue where food is cooked or heated on site, such as buffets or self-service areas, the cooking zone must remain at least 3 meters away from seating areas. Hot pot and barbecue restaurants are excluded from the scheme. Pet owners also face clear responsibilities. Leashes cannot exceed 1.5 meters in length and must be held directly by an adult or securely tethered, though tying dogs to tables or chairs is prohibited. Cooking or preparing dog food within the restaurant is forbidden. Any feces or urine must be cleaned up and disinfected immediately. Known dangerous breeds and fighting dogs are banned from entering altogether. Anyone who violates these requirements risks a fine of up to $10,000. If a restaurant breaches the licensing conditions 3 times within a year, its approval will be revoked and reapplication is not accepted in 1 year. One restaurant owner expressed interest in applying for the endorsement, but raised practical concerns about the extra burden. Should we disinfect the whole place every 1 to 2 hours? What if pet fur ends up on someone's food? These are inevitable issues the government really needs to address, the owner said. Authorities anticipate the dog-friendly venues to eventually account for 3 to 5% of all restaurants in the city, opening up new potential for the pet economy. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Hong Kong's retail sector ended last year on a mildly upbeat note, but December's performance still fell short of hopes, despite a modest acceleration from the previous month, official data showed. Total retail sales in December rose 6.6% year-on-year to reach $35 billion, edging up just 0.1 percentage point from November. That growth, while positive, came in below the 7.9% increase that analysts had penciled in, reflecting persistent caution among shoppers, even as the local economy gathers steam. For the whole year, retail sales value saw a modest recovery, edging up by 1% to $380.5 billion, marking a turnaround from the steep decline recorded in 2024. A government spokesman stated that retail sales continue to recover solidly and pointed to improving local consumption sentiment, alongside continued growth in inbound visitors as key supports for the sector moving forward. With the Year of the Horse just around the corner, the city's 3 note-issuing banks are offering new and good-as-new banknotes to the public from today to February 16th. As the banks opened early at 8 a.m. for the first 3 days, people flocked to exchange notes, with some saying that crisp bills symbolize a new beginning. Evelyn Bai shares more.
This morning, early risers queued to get their hands on fresh notes for Lai Si during the Lunar New Year at branches of HSBC, Standard Chartered and Bank of China Hong Kong. This man said he had exchanged $3,000 so far, but there were not enough $50 notes, so he planned to return the next day. I come every year to get new notes and it makes me happy. It marks a fresh start, said this woman.
攞唔到新鈔，我淨係攞到認新鈔。
This woman says she queued because she could not secure a quota for new notes on the bank's app. Earlier, all online reservations for new notes were snapped up. As the Lunar New Year approaches, will Hong Kongers show generosity in giving out red packets?
咁啊睇對手咯嚇，親疏有別咁啊。
This man said the amount depends on the closeness of their relationship.
雙方會唔會加碼？
I'm planning to double up the red packets and increase the amount, said this elderly.
咁網上嘅預約力反應咧係非常之好嘅。
Yvonne Chan, HSBC's head of retail, wealth sales and conduct, said the response to online reservations for new banknote exchange was enthusiastic this year, noting a single-digit growth year-on-year. 3 mobile branches will also visit public housing estates to offer new banknote exchange services, Chan added. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A motorcyclist was hurled into the back of a light van this morning after a high-speed rear-end collision inside Cairn Tunnel. Dashcam footage shows the van slowing for traffic ahead, while the motorcycle failed to stop in time, plowing into the van's rear at speed. The 28-year-old rider was catapulted through the van's rear windscreen into the cargo area. He was conscious when transported to hospital, while the van driver remained to assist police. The crash caused significant disruption, with the fast lane temporarily closed. Police have towed the motorcycle for examination as the investigation continues. The United States will slash tariffs on Indian goods to 18%, down from the punitive 50%, in a new agreement that secures India's commitment to halt purchases of Russian oil and buy American products worth hundreds of billions of dollars. U.S. President Donald Trump announced the deal after a phone call with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying he was lowering the so-called reciprocal tariff on all Indian imports from 25% to 18%, and rescinding a separate 25% punitive duty linked to New Delhi's Russian oil buying. Combined, the deal slashes the overall tariff from 50% to 18%, diffusing one of the most serious trade disputes between the two nations. In return, Trump said Modi has agreed to stop buying Russian oil, which India has relied on for roughly a third of its crude imports, and instead ramp up purchases of U.S. energy and possibly Venezuelan oil as well. Trump framed the agreement as an act of friendship and respect for Modi. Beyond the oil pivot, Trump stated India committed to purchasing over $500 billion in American goods, spanning energy, technology, agriculture, and coal, while eliminating its tariffs on U.S. products and reducing non-tariff barriers. Modi's office welcomed the tariff cut and pledged closer cooperation with Washington, though it did not explicitly confirm the full oil shift or purchase commitments. The breakthrough concludes nearly a year of tense negotiations and arrives shortly after India sealed a major free trade pact with the European Union. Together, these agreements strengthen India's competitive edge against key Asian rivals, such as China, which remains subject to U.S. tariffs as high as 34%. China has passed a new regulation prohibiting hidden door handles on electric vehicles, becoming the first country in the world to ban this design over safety concern. Evelyn Bai has more details.
Under the new regulation, cars sold in the country must be equipped with mechanical release door handles on both the interior and exterior. The aim is to address issues such as the need for users to press down on the handle to release the lever, malfunctions during car crashes, and inadequate recognizability of interior handles, according to the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. The regulation will take effect on January 1, 2027. Models that have already received regulatory approval and are nearing market launch on the mainland will have an additional 2-year grace period to redesign. China's influence on the global automotive industry means it could resonate elsewhere. Tesla's doors are already the target of a safety probe in the US, while European regulators are looking to impose rules of their own. Xiaomi, Ion, and Tesla have used hidden door handles in their car design. The The change follows high-profile incidents in China, including 2 Xiaomi EV fires in which power failures were suspected to have prevented door opening, leaving people unable to escape. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The latest episode of Washington's Epstein saga sees former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary Clinton finally agreeing to congressional testimony, compelled by the threat of criminal contempt charges. Meanwhile, newly released files by the U.S. Department of Justice keep tying more famous names, including the world-renowned magician David Copperfield, to the disgraced financiers network. The Clintons' decision to sit for depositions comes after months of defiance, during which they repeatedly rejected closed-door testimony, claiming the House Oversight Committee's subpoenas were illegal and politically motivated. Confronted with an imminent House vote on criminal contempt that could carry substantial fines or even jail time, their legal team reversed course and struck a last-minute deal with Republican Chairman James Comer, who has sought to position the couple at the center of his investigation into convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Newly unsealed Justice Department files, spanning more than 3 million pages, have revived public scrutiny of Bill Clinton's connections to Epstein, including several trips aboard his private jet after leaving office. Clinton maintains he was unaware of Epstein's criminal activities. The same documents also exposed links between the late criminal and a wide circle of elites, including popular illusionist David Copperfield, with FBI memos from 2007 describing their relationship as very close, prompting investigators to question whether they had a common interest in minors and potential victims. The memo stemmed from a 2-year FBI probe into Copperfield over rape and a sexual assault allegation by a woman who accused him of luring her to his private island in the Bahamas, with promises of modeling work. The case closed in 2010 without charges, and Copperfield's lawyers insist he's not Epstein's friend. In Australia, a 13-year-old boy's heroic 4-kilometer swim to the shore saved his mother, brother, and sister after being swept out to the sea. Anna Chen tells us the adventure.
Austin Appleby recounted the ordeal alongside his mother and 2 younger siblings. The family's fun day turned into a nightmare after they set out from the beach at Quadrilab on a kayak and inflatable paddleboards. The sea became rough, causing their kayak to flip and take on water. Joanne Appleby had to ask his eldest son to swim ashore and get help.
I just keep swimming. I do breaststroke, I do freestyle, I do survival backstroke. And then it took me about so I had the life jacket and the kayak for 2 hours, and then for the next 2 hours I was just swimming with no life jacket. And I don't know, but at one point when I was in breaststroke, I was looking, I can actually see underwater, which I couldn't do before. I just keep swimming, and then finally I just made it to shore, and I hit the bottom of the beach, and I just collapsed. And then after that I had to sprint 2 kilometers to go get to the phone.
After swimming for 4 hours, the brave teen calmly told emergency services what happened, eventually saving his family who had been stranded in the ocean for over 8 hours. The boy survived relatively unscathed, needing only a crouch to help his sore legs. What he endured was equivalent to running 2 marathons.
We made it, we're alive, and that's the most important thing. And I have all 3 babies. Excuse me. all 3 of them made it. That was all that mattered. So it was good.
Anna Chen, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index closed 59 points higher. Top active stocks of the day: Tencent was down $17.50. Alibaba was down $2.30. Kuaishou was down $3.55, while Zijin Mining was up $1.80. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 9.21, Japanese yen 50.12. Onto the weather now. Mainly cloudy, 1 or 2 light rain patches at first tomorrow. Cool in the morning with a minimum temperature of about 17 degrees. Sunny intervals during the day with a maximum temperature of around 21 degrees. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.